All right, let's start seated this morning. There we go. So come to sit. If you want to sit on your block, go for it. Taking the hands onto the knees. I want you to just let your chin like totally collapse to your chest. And just feel that stretch in the back of the neck. And see if with the chin dropped that you can pull the top of the head kind of away from the neck. Just going to intensify that stretch a little bit for you. It's almost like if somebody was resting their hand on the rounded bit at the back of your head, you're pushing your head into that. You'll feel the stretch intensify. And then just gently roll your ear to one shoulder, it doesn't matter which one. And just stay there for a moment. And then again, you can imagine that someone's hand is resting on the sort of top of the head there. Just gently press into that hand and you'll feel the stretch intensify. And then gently come back to center, all the way over to the other ear. And then just find that stretch. Noticing maybe which side feels tighter. I'm always tighter on my left side. And then come back to center and just kind of grow through the crown of the head here. So keeping the eyes closed, but just lifting that head up. Try not to lift the chin here. We want the back of the neck really nice and straight. Good. And we'll just do 3 nice big clearing breaths. So big inhale through the nose. And then just open the mouth and let it go. And we'll do 2 more like that. Big breath in through the nose. And then just closing the mouth. And just taking 10 breaths here. Seeing if you can just quiet the mind. Arriving on your mat. Just starting to notice a few things. Tuning into the senses. How does the mouth taste? Maybe you just had a coffee or a tea. Maybe it feels quite dry, maybe there's a lot of saliva. Maybe you just brushed your teeth. And just start to notice the darkness behind the eyes. But then see if you can notice perhaps that there's different areas that have darker shades, different areas where they maybe have bits of light or flashes. And just notice what you hear. Sounds coming from within the space that you're in. And the sounds that come from beyond the 4 walls that surround you. Notice the temperature of the skin. You feel any kind of breeze or warmth. Maybe you're sitting by a radiator or a window. Just notice anything that you smell. In the clothing, in the air. And just take a really nice big inhale, bring the arms over the head, and as the arms come up, just gently lift the head to look up, open the eyes. And we're going to take a nice morning twist. So bringing left hand onto right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, find length. Try to spin from the belly button. So belly button is spinning you around. Inhale to find length. Exhale, turning again. I'm just using this to kind of wring out the spine. Whatever remnants of your sleep is still hanging on. Come back to center, arms reach high, and then turn the opposite direction. Really let the belly button be the guide. This will make sure that you're moving in a way that protects the spine. Nice. Come back to center, arms reach high, and then we're just going to collapse over our legs. Let the hands come onto the mat. Let the head bow down. Let the belly go. Try to press the sit bones down and then grow through the crown of the head so that you're deepening that stretch. And then planting the hands onto the mat, pulling yourself over your knees and making your way into a nice tabletop position here. So just taking a moment to kind of move around, not really thinking about that classic form of a cat-cow, but just kind of moving in your body. So feeling into the hands, feeling into the knees, letting the head go, just kind of moving perhaps where you feel like the body needs it. You might come in and out of your child's pose, you might take a back bend, you might ripple the spine. I like to keep my eyes closed so I can really tune in with how I feel and forget about how I look. Ooh. And the nice thing about practicing in the morning is that you can really kind of feel into the body. You've not moved probably on every plane of movement yet. So you get that when you start to get into that yoga practice. Nice. Coming back to neutral tabletop. We're going to tuck our right toe and drag that right toe along the mat. Kicking into that heel. Left foot's going to come slightly out to the side and we're going to drop our right foot. We're then going to peel that right hand up to the sky. Reach nice and high. And then let your arm come over your head. Let your ear soften to your shoulder. And just totally releasing. So just finding that stretch. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Good. Okay, we're going to lift our right hand back up. Press into the outside edge of that foot. And then come onto the tips of your left fingers. We're going to try to use the core and see if we can lift that hand off the mat. Now you want to keep your body in a long line. So you're in like a 45 from that back foot. You should feel the core really working here. Good. So we're going to touch the finger down. And then we're going to lift back up. We're just going to do 3 like this. Touching down. Lift back up. Woo. Touching down. Lift back up. 1 more. Touching down. Lift back up. Let's go all the way up. Reverse that baby warrior. Good. Then cartwheeling those hands down. Bringing the knee back onto the mat. Take a couple wiggles here. And we'll do the other side. So left leg drags along the mat. Kick into that heel. Waking up the hamstring. Right toe out to the side. Drop that left foot. Start to lift left hand high. Reach. Turn palm forwards. Bring the arm over the head. Ear softens to the shoulder. So just really opening up into that side body. Good. Okay, left hand comes back up. Really plug that left foot down. Tips of the right fingers. See if you can start to lift. You want to keep that body in one long line. Feel the core working. Good. And then let's touch the fingers down. Come back up. Nice. 3 more like this. Use the breath. Keep that foot planted. Nice. 1 more. Touching down, lifting up, reversing, bringing the arm over the head, stretching into the side waist, and then taking those hands all the way back down, knee onto the mat. Good. Let's just take a little child's pose. So sit the butt back, stretch the arms, come onto the tips of the fingers. Big inhale here, and then just let it all go. Press the hands down, look forwards. Take yourself up into tabletop, tuck the toes, and then push yourself all the way back, finding downward dog. Pedal through the feet, nod and shake the head. Just finding that opening in the backs of the legs. See if you can draw the belly button and store it inside the rib cage. And let's all have a little baby bend in our knees to start. Push the mat away, sending the butt higher to the sky and imagining that you're trying to get your chest to kiss your thighs. Nice. Can you externally rotate your biceps? So the upper arm is trying to go out to the side walls. And hopefully you feel those collarbones widen and the shoulders come a little bit away from the ears. Okay, we're going to work on some ripply waves forwards and back. Let's come onto the tips of the toes. Draw the belly in, look to the belly button, then roll all the way forwards. You're going to start to let your chest drop. Butt comes high and we go all the way back up into downward dog. Let's do 3 like this. So ripple forwards, really try to round the upper back, finding that plank. Let your chest drop, butt comes high. Send yourself back up to the sky. 2 more like this. Just think about trying to articulate every part of the body. Not really having any moments of stillness or stopping. Good. And the next time that you ripple forwards into plank, find a nice strong plank here, looking beyond those fingers, push into the floor. Try to widen those collarbones again, and then just drop the knees. Untuck the toes. Turn those elbows to face backwards. And then let's lower nice and slow. Feel the triceps working all the way down onto the mat. From here, press the tops of the feet down. Drive your pubic bone into the mat. And then start to lift. Again, can you squeeze the shoulder blades away from the ears as you draw those elbows back? Good. Lower down. Tuck the toes. Push back into a little tuck toe child's pose. Stay there for a moment. And then press yourself back and up into downward dog. So first option is dropping the knees, guys. Second option, ripple forwards to plank. Drop the knees if you have to. Otherwise, travel the weight forwards. Lower nice and controlled all the way onto the belly. From here, baby cobra is an option where you just use the back body, or you can start to press into the hands. Now, what we don't want to do here is lock out the elbows and have the pubic bone lift. You want to have the pubic bone touch, so you might have to take a soft bend in those elbows. From here, maybe straight back into downward dog. Good. So either knees drop, lower all the way down, or full chaturanga. So coming forwards to plank, you choosing that option. If you're going to take full chaturanga, travel the weight forwards, lower, maybe halfway, maybe not even. Come on tops of the feet, upward dog again, not locking out those elbows. And then push back up, downward dog. You're going to come through 3 more. You choose, okay? It's a Saturday morning, so if you don't have the energy, you don't need to be full chaturanga the whole time. This is your chance to just kind of feel into the body. Move with the breath. And if you can, think about the way we were just kind of flowing through that plank and downward dog. Can you get that fluidity with that chaturanga, with that vinyasa? Nice. And then meeting me in downward dog. Obviously, guys, if you need a break, take it. And then we're going to lift our right leg up to the sky. Look at the toe, make sure it's dialed down. As you exhale, let's drive the knee to the nose. Get the shoulders over the wrist, push the floor away, come high onto the left toes. Send that leg back up to the sky, kick into the heel, look to the toes. Knee to nose, suck the belly in, push into those hands. One more time up to the sky. This time we're going to do all those actions, but we're going to try to step the foot between the hands as well. Drop back knee and tuck toe. Let's lift those hands up to the sky. Good, starting to sink forwards, finding that stretch in the back leg. Good, and then close your eyes just for a moment. Feel how that front foot has to work harder. Turn the pinky fingers towards each other. Maybe slightly lifting the head, looking up to an imaginary sky. Our eyes are still closed. Good, open the eyes. We take hands down onto the mat, tuck back toe, step into that plank. You choose your vinyasa. Option always to drop the knees, drop back into child's pose, and go into downward dog. That's a really nice option as well, especially if you're feeling tired or sore in the shoulders. Okay, left foot lifts, look to the toe. As you exhale, bring the knee forwards, push into the hands high on right toes. Back up to the sky, kick into the heel. And then drive that knee forwards. Push, push, push into those hands. Back up to the sky. Look forwards as you do so. Push into the hands, step the foot. Drop back knee, untuck toe, lift the hands. Now before we close the eyes, if your left foot is directly in front of your right knee, balance is going to be really tricky. So walk that foot out so your feet are on hips distance. Nice. Hands are up high. Close the eyes. Notice the balance. If you're close to a wall like myself, if you start to wobble, you can just touch the wall. Nice. Maybe letting the head drop back, looking up to an imaginary sky. And then open the eyes, hands come down onto the floor, tuck back toes, step into plank, move through that vinyasa. Your choice. Noticing what the breath is doing. And then bringing the bum back up to the sky. Good, right leg lifts. We're gonna bring that right knee to our right arm. Try to get those shoulders over the wrist, high on left toes. Back up to the sky. Knee to nose, get those shoulders over those wrists. Back up to the sky. And then we're gonna cross, extend our leg and take a little balance here. So drop left foot, fallen star, bringing left hand high. Those who have it, see if you can lift that right foot off the mat. Good, from here, place the left hand back down, lift that right leg, and then we're gonna step. Take your time, stepping that foot high on those fingers, look forwards, rise up. Good. Finding a bit of balance here. Little bend maybe in that back knee. Breathing deeply. Good. Okay, from here, guys, just take your left hand onto your left hip. We're going to take a little weird version of a half moon. It's not going to be a full half moon. So what you're going to do is bring your right hand forwards onto the floor and then just start to lift your left foot. We're not turning the toe out to the side. We're just finding that balance. Now, if you're really struggling to find any straightness in your right leg, it might be beneficial for you to use blocks today. Good. From here, can you softly bring that right foot back down? Hands come up to the sky. And not by right foot, I meant left foot. Whip. And then bring those hands down. Step into plank. Move through that vinyasa. So we're just slowly starting to build into that half moon. So we're just paying attention to that hand really in the first round. So left leg lifts. Left knee to left arm. Get those shoulders over the wrists. Back up to the sky, knee to nose. Back up to the sky, and this time, guys, you're going to cross, extend the leg. You really want to plant that right hand as right fingers lift. Maybe you lift the left foot, maybe you don't. Bring right hand back down, spin it, take it high. Look forwards, step the foot through. So high on those fingers again, look forwards, rise into high lunge. So see if you can get the hips squared. You might have to take a bend in the back knee. You know, we've not done anything too crazy on the hamstrings yet. Breathing here. Let's take right hand onto right hip. Don't worry so much about the right leg. Just bring the left hand down. Notice how the left hamstring is feeling. Okay, maybe you grab that block. Good. See if you can slowly bring that right foot back down. Hands come up to the sky. And then move through that vinyasa. Hands touch down, step back to plank. Your choice. If you're getting tired, ease it up. Making your way back into downward dog. Good, okay, so right leg is gonna lift. No fancy stuff this time. Look forwards, step the foot between the hands. High on those fingers as you lift. Really strong, pulling that right hip back. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, open into warrior two. Good. Lift the toes of the right foot and then plug them down as you bend your knee. Just do a couple of these. Lifting and then plugging down nice and strong with the knee. Do one more. Nice. Settling into this pose. Let's flip our front palm, reverse our warrior. Reaching nice and high. Slide your left hand up into your left hip. Look forwards. We're going to reach with our right fingers. Then we're going to start to lift our left foot. So coming into sort of half moon. If you feel really wobbly, take your left hand onto the floor. Actually, let's get everybody to take their left hand onto the mat. And let's talk about your left leg. So I want you all to dial the left toes out to the side and pull the left toes towards your face. Kick into the heel and see if you can lift that leg higher. And let's just take 5 pulses here. So pulsing up and down so you can feel the glutes working for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, lift that left hand, bend your right knee. Can you float back into warrior two? And then those hands come down. Stepping into that plank, taking your vinyasa, and then making your way into that downward dog. Good. Okay, so left leg is going to lift. Stepping that left foot between the hands, high on those fingers. You really want to start this by coming into balance first. So hands lift, driving your right hip forwards, left hip back. Inhale, find length. Exhale, open into warrior two. Again, let's lift the toes. Leg might straighten, that's fine. Open back out. 2 more like that. Lift the toes, pressing into the heel. Press back down. 1 more, just really becoming aware of our foundations. Nice, warrior two. Flip that front palm. Reverse your warrior, reaching nice and high. Good, okay. Let's come back into warrior two. This time, take both hands onto the mat. Good, getting your balance. When you feel ready, lift that right leg. Now, dial the toes out to the side and then kick into the heel. So you're trying to pull your right toes towards your face. Now, try to lift that leg higher. Good, at the top of that extension, let's start to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, find stillness, maybe right hand lifts, then left knee. Can you float? Warrior 2. And then those arms, cartwheel, down onto the mat. Stepping into that plank. Your choice, guys. Back up into that downward dog. Good. Okay, right leg lifts. Stepping that right foot between the hands. Driving that left hip forwards as those hands rise up. And then open all the way into warrior 2. Flipping that front hand, reversing that warrior. Keep that right foot really grounded, nice bend. Come all the way back forwards. We're going to cartwheel right arm onto right thigh. Left arm over the head. 1 breath here. Good. Cartwheel the arms all the way back, straighten the front leg. Reverse, but with a straight leg. Good. Cartwheel the arms forward, straight into triangle. We're going to sort of flow in and out of this a couple times. Good. Rise back up. You're going to bend the knee, reverse warrior. Good. Cartwheel right hand down, extended side angle. Nice. Cartwheel back up, straighten the leg, reverse that triangle. Good. Come back forwards, leg stays the same. Come into triangle. We're going to do 1 more, okay? So this time we rise, knee bends, reverse. Knee stays the same, but we cartwheel down into extended side angle. Nice. We're going to lift. Leg is going to straighten. Arm over the head. Leg's going to stay the same. Come forwards into triangle. Good. Start to bend the knee. Rise back up. Left hand onto left hip. Right fingers either getting ready to touch the floor or a block. Look forwards. Coming forwards. This time trying to keep that left hand off the mat. Kick into the heel. Lift that leg as high as you can. So trying to find the peak of that extension and then bringing that top arm up to the sky. Good. From here, guys, see if you can lift a couple fingers off the mat or off your block. Maybe even hovering that hand just off the floor. If you can hover for a while, see if you can bring that right hand to your chest. This is called Poet's Pose. Stay for 3, 2. We're going to float gracefully back into warrior 2. Woo! Nice. Cartwheel those hands all the way down. Step back into plank. You take the vinyasa that feels good to you. Making your way back into that downward dog. Left leg is going to lift. Stepping left foot between the hands. Focusing. As you rise, right hip comes forwards all the way into high lunge. And then opening into that warrior 2. Good. Okay, we're going to flip that front hand, reverse the warrior. Nice. Come forwards, cartwheel left hand down or left forearm down. Right arm over the head. Okay, so we're going to start to flow here, guys. So you're going to rise, straighten your leg, reverse, come back up, leg stays straight, tip down, triangle. Doesn't matter how low you go. Good. As you rise, bend the knee, reverse warrior. Keep the knee bent as you come forwards, extended side angle. Try not to dump into that left arm. Keep the weight from dumping into it. Rise up, straighten the leg, reverse that triangle. Come forward, straight into triangle. Legs don't change. We'll do 1 more, okay? So as you rise, knee bends, we reverse that warrior. We come up, knee stays where it is. Extended side angle. Reach. As we rise, leg straightens. Reverse triangle. As we rise, leg stays the same. Straight into triangle. Nice. Pause there for a moment. Bend the knee, right hand onto hip, getting ready for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So start to reach forwards with that hand. Use the block if you need to. Once that back leg comes off the floor, you want to really kick into that heel. Toe comes out to the side. Maybe that hand reaches up to the sky. Maybe you start to lift the hand. Maybe it hovers for a second. Maybe you can bring it to heart center. Keep kicking into the heel. That's what's going to help keep your balance. Bend the knee. Open into warrior 2. And don't worry if you flop, guys. That's fine. Hands cartwheel down. Take your vinyasa. You got 1 flow left on each side. Try to just find a nice strong plank. Maybe you just hold your plank instead of moving through that vinyasa. Nice to see you guys taking those modifications as well. Okay, when you find your downward dog, take a big breath in through the nose. And then just open the mouth and let it go. Good, okay, right leg is gonna lift. Stepping that right foot between the hands. Lifting up, finding that high lunge. And then opening into warrior two. Good, flip that front hand. Reverse your warrior. Good, nice. Coming back up. Okay, stay with me here, guys. We're gonna come forwards into half moon. Hovering here for just a second. And then we're gonna bend the knee back into warrior two and reverse the warrior. Stay with me here, guys. We're gonna come back straight into half moon. Send that hand forwards. Don't worry if it's super floppy, okay? And then you're gonna rise back, legs straight, reverse triangle. Good, okay, let's try it one more on each side. So come forwards, bend the knee. And you can keep your hand on your hip if that's easier. Straight into half moon. Try to be light on your feet. So as your foot drops, be light. Reverse warrior. Good. Come forwards. Hand comes down. Maybe sending that hand high. Step back. Straighten the leg. Reverse triangle. This time we're going to hold our half moon. Okay. So coming forwards. Hand onto the mat. Find half moon. You might use the block. Now those who want another challenge, you're going to bend back knee. And see if you can grab a hold of that foot, okay? Now, if you can get a hold of your foot, you then want to really kick into your hand. Send the hips forwards. Good. Stay for 3, 2, 1. Release the foot if you've got it. Let's take our foot down and just take a little ragdoll. Whew. Let the head hang. Good. Place the hands onto the mat. Your choice, guys. You can just step, or if you're a hopper, hop it on back. Come through that vinyasa. If you're tired, take that easy option. And throwing quite a lot at you. A lot of tricky balance transitions. Okay, last side, left leg lifts. Step that left leg through. Right away in this first lift, you're thinking about balance as those hands rise. And then you're opening into that warrior two, nice and strong. Flip that palm, reverse your warrior. Good. Come forwards. Maybe the first half moon you take, right hand onto right hip. Come forwards, take your hand onto the mat, lift that back foot, finding that half moon. Sweep. Good. Softly release the foot back down, straighten the leg. Reverse your triangle. Good. Straight back, hand can stay on the hip. Or this time when you lift that hand up to the sky. Nice and softly drop the foot. Warrior stance. Reverse that warrior. One more, okay, on each side. Coming forwards, half moon. Good, dropping that foot, straightening that leg, reverse. One more with the knee bent, come forwards, find that half moon. Good, drop the foot, knee bends, reverse. And this time, guys, you're gonna find that half moon and you're gonna stay. So placing hand onto the block or the floor. You can stay here. You can bend that knee and reach for the foot if you want. You might just try and find a bit more lightness in the bottom hand. And then begin to take that foot down. And this time wrap the arms around the backs of the knees. Pull the head down. Take a little sway. Feeling into the body. And then you're just going to release your arms. Take the weight into the heels and slowly begin to rise up. Coming to stand, closing the eyes and just finding Tadasana. Lift all 10 toes, spread them wide, plug them into the mat. Pull the heel of the foot and the ball of the foot towards each other. And just feel the shins lift, the thighs lift. Feel the belly kind of draw inwards. Maybe engage the glutes. Lift through the sternum, slight tuck of the chin. Fingertips are lasering towards the mat. Just find your breath. Nice. From here, guys, you are going to step back, whatever foot it needs to be, so that when you turn, you're facing me, so that you're standing nice wide-legged, toes coming in. Hands onto the hips, squeeze the shoulders together, puff up your chest, And as you exhale, hinging in the hips, so hips are coming forwards, hands either onto the floor or blocks. Before we bring our head down, I want you to come high onto the fingertips, lengthen the spine, try to tip the weight into the balls of the feet, and then begin to lower. So right now, look at your elbows, and I want you to walk your hand back, fingertips still facing the same way, so fingertips and toes going in the same direction, but I want you to try to get your wrist underneath your elbow. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, try to tuck your head under your pelvis. Good, work on pushing the back of the thigh in towards the hamstring. Yes, that will make those hamstrings really work. So kind of pushing that thigh back into the hamstring. Good. And with the hands, you don't want the hands to go further back than the heels. The heels are like the barrier here. Good. And if the head touches the floor, and if you guys want to lift up into a tripod headstand, go for it. Otherwise, just enjoy the stretch. If you're in tripod, just slowly start to lower back down. See if you can get the feet to exactly where they lifted off from. And then everybody just walk those hands forward so that the hands are under the shoulders. You're going to start to bend your right knee and come onto the heel of your right foot. And just bring your hands to heart center. You might be on the toe of the right foot. The foot might be flat. Okay, just feel into this stretch. It's a lot of balance as well. I can see you all wobbling around. Okay, if you just can't get the balance, maybe try taking one hand to heart center. Okay, you can play around with which hand it is. Good, keep the butt low. We're going to take a little travel over to the other side. Okay, you might start with one hand. You might be able to bring both. I want you to pull the toes towards the face. See if you can hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, walk yourself back through center, turn the toes in. Hands are going to grab your big toes. So first 2 fingers around the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine again. Exhale, elbows out to the sides. Whew. And same thing, you're trying to tuck the head underneath you. So again, see if you can press the backs of the thighs into the back of the hamstrings. See if you can take more weight into the ball of the foot. Keep the elbows tracking outwards. This is going to widen those collarbones, give you loads of space. Just taking a couple more breaths here. You can maybe just nod or shake the head. Good. Place the hands onto the mat. Walk your right foot in slightly, turn the toe out to the side. Walk your left foot in slightly, turn the toe out to the side, and we sit straight into squat pose. You might need to kind of play around with the feet a little bit. If the feet are too close, you're going to lift onto the balls of the feet. This is going to be very uncomfortable. So walk the feet out until you can try to get the heels down. Try not to sink into this so the backs of the triceps are in the knees. You want the backs of the elbows in the knees, and you want to be able to sit up nice and tall. Eventually, you want the head, the shoulders, and the pelvis to stack. Close the eyes. Just take 5 nice deep breaths. Breathing in. And out. 4 more, quiet mind. And just gently flutter the eyes open. Take one hand and then the other behind you until you can bring the bump down. Woo! And then give the legs a little windshield wipe from side to side. Good. And then you're going to end with yourself in deer pose. So deer pose, you're in 2 right angles. Okay, we're just going to work on really firing up the glute. So it doesn't matter which leg. Okay, it doesn't matter which leg is forwards or back. What I want you to do, we're going to focus on the back leg. So you're going to press the foot down, hands to heart center, and just see if you can lift the knee. Now, keep doing that. What I don't want you to do is as you lift your knee, lean out to the leg or lean away from the leg that's lifting. So keep your torso centered. You're going to feel the difference when you do it like this. Okay, we'll do 5 more. So this is the easier option. I'm going to show you the harder option in a second. So this is external rotation. We're going to now start to work through internal rotation, which we don't do a lot of in yoga. So now we're going to press the knee down, which drives us into internal rotation. And you're going to see if you can lift your left foot. It might barely lift. Now this is where we're really going to want to send our weight out. So if you lean out to the side, see how much easier it is to lift the foot. And that's because you're really helping the glute. So come back to center. It might not lift. It might be like, okay? Try not to get that momentum happening. Focus on this area. Okay, these are the glute mid and glute min. These are the guys we want to work. And you're trying to lift that foot. And you can see I'm using my momentum. I'm just going to try and zen out the top half of my body. As the bottom half of my body screams to try to lift. Good. If you can do it, oh my goodness, you might get a cramp. That's okay. Good. Okay, we're going to go straight to the other side. So lift the knees. Flop them over. If you've got a cramp, just literally push into that area. It should go away quite quickly. So 2 tight right angles, hands to heart center, trying to keep that torso centered. Press the back foot into the floor and lift that back knee. Okay, so front leg really doesn't do anything here. It's just holding our balance. So right now we can feel the groin probably working again. It's the glute mid and glute min. They're taking that leg out. These are the same muscles that we use for that half moon. So same muscles that lift up that leg when we're in that half moon. So really important to kind of know how to work them. Internal, so drive the knee down. Let's see if you can start to lift that leg. It might not lift. You might be in complete and utter paralysis right now, which is okay. We're looking for the brain to connect. Good. And you're going to feel the hip flexor really working, so the front of the quad, because the quad's trying to drive the knee down. And then you're using the glutes, so the other muscles, to lift that foot off the floor. We'll stay for 3, 2, 1. Good. If you got a little cramp, just massage it out. Give it a little wiggle. Good. Well done, guys. Placing your feet onto the floor. Hands come forwards. Let's just use the core for a little bit. Lowering down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's go straight up into a restorative inversion. If you happen to have a block nearby, don't think I actually do, lift it up and take it under the butt. Otherwise, just enjoy this really simple inversion. Give the wrists and the feet a little shake, and then just let them totally come to stillness. If you're feeling anything in the lower back, bend the knees. You can bend them all the way, okay? And that should hopefully release anything that you're feeling in that lower back. Notice the change in your breath. Notice the heaviness. And then just start to bend the knees. Bring the palms of the hands together. And you're going to roll over to your right. Palms of the hands are going to come together over to the right. Okay, from here, think about it as a camera shot. From here, you're going to lift your left hand, bring it as far over to the side. You might get a really nice snap or crack in the back. And then bring it back down. Okay, 3 more. When you bring that arm over, really try to feel that stretch. Keep the knees locked together. There's a plant, so I can't go all the way. Bring it back down. 2 more. Just embracing that stretch. And this time when you bring it over, you're going to stay. So finding that release, bringing the arm over. Trying to keep the knees connected. Don't worry if the arm's just off the mat, that's fine. Just really enjoying this decompression, this stretch, this twist. You do supine twists. It's like a vitamin boost, a super powered, amazing vitamin shake for our spine. Really, really, really good for it. And then just slowly start to bring that left hand back onto the right hand. And then from here, we're just going to send the hands straight back up to the sky, feet back up to the sky, come straight into that restorative inversion. So let the hands release, let the knees softly bend if you need to. Back of the head on the mat. Just a couple of breaths here. And then begin to draw the hands together again. Softly bend the knees, roll it on over to the left side. And then keeping those knees connected, inhale, bring that right arm as far over as you can. If it's really easy, what I want you to do is bring your knees up higher and try to pull your right hip over further. And just do 3 more of these reaches. You might only get this far, that's okay. Feel into that stretch, bring it back over. 2 more. So you want to really be driving that right hip over the left. This time, guys, you're going to bring the arm over. See how far you can go. And just find that twist, that release. You can have the eyes closed. Every exhale, you want to be pulling the right shoulder further over, further into the mat. And at the same time, you're pulling that right knee further over to the left. So you got this lovely torque, these limbs going in opposite directions. And then bring that right hand back on top of the left. Roll yourself over, take the hands and the legs back up to the sky once more. Close the eyes, 3 breaths here, restorative inversion. And then begin to gently bend the knees, wrapping the arms around those knees. Keep your eyes closed if they're closed. Pull yourself into a tight ball, bringing the knees towards the chest, but also pulling the chest towards the knees. And then just begin to find a super well-deserved Saturday morning relaxation pose, a Shavasana. Allow the body to just drop, let go. There's nothing else that you need to do right now. Just drift away, absorbing this morning's class, this morning's practice. See if you can begin to invite some deeper breaths back into the body. And just feel the physical body reacting to oxygen as it travels in and out. Invite some movement into the fingers, some movement into the toes. And then you're going to take a nice long stretch. So swan, diving swan, floating those arms up and over the head, pointing the toes, taking a big ol' inhale. And just opening the mouth and sighing, letting go. Wrapping one arm around the waist, rolling over onto the side, perhaps wherever has the most room or whatever calls to you. And keeping those eyes closed just for a moment longer, push the floor away and come into a seated position. Ending the class as we began. Just allowing the arms to drape over the knees. And just take a moment here, scanning back to the start of the class. When you first perhaps woke up or stepped onto the mat and how your body felt, how your mind felt. Just notice any small or subtle changes. And just take a moment to breathe into that change, that transformation. And then just gently bring the arms up and over the head, pushing the palms together. Dropping the hands or the thumbs to the space between the brow for kindness in your thoughts. To the lips for kindness in your words. And then resting at heart center. For each and every one of you to carry kindness, compassion, and action for the rest of your day. Open the eyes. Well done, guys. Namaste. Well done, everyone. Lots of tricky transitions there, but it's a fun thing to work on, trying to float between poses. It's not easy. There's a lot of stumbling always, but I hope you enjoyed it.